I don't even know if I'd play Duskwatch Recruiter in the blue version currently. This is the second league I've played it in, and it was a solid medium in the first league. I want to get some more matches in before I make an educated decision on whether or not it's good. Hmm. Is this 6 okay? Probably. Fetch Breeding Pool. Play Mountain. Play Duskwatch Recruiter. I'm going to keep this against Unknown. If opponent's playing something not particularly interactive, it's not going to be great, but we have a lot of Game 1 hands that just aren't good against non-interactive. Dark Slick Shores means Grixis or Ad Nauseam, so hopefully it's the former and not the latter. Alright, it's Ad Nauseam. Wonderful. At least he didn't have a Lotus Bloom on one. Look at that, we've got our combo in hand. Can't lose. We are a combo duck. I should have assumed the opponent was Ad Nauseam because we're both 0-1. Actually, we lost the first round of this league to Ad Nauseam, I believe. This matchup can be kind of difficult for us. Pentad Prism cast with one color. So you're saying there's a chance, friend. I appreciate it. So you're saying there's a chance. Oh, geez. I can flip this and play Resto next turn? That's hot. That's super hot. If he like has a one cost thing at our end step, we don't flip it and can't play Resto, but I think we're still okay with that. That outcome. Your resub didn't show on stream. Hey, I think you're right, Illusions. Yeah, you definitely didn't have it earlier. Huh. Maybe I missed it. I stepped away for a second. At any rate, we'll kick it up. Thank you for the resub. Kick it to 130 out of 150. Hey, you definitely have a badge. Maybe I'm not supposed to blink that. I'm just supposed to pressure. Yeah, actually, I think blinking that was wrong. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have blinked that. We'd have 7 power here. Yeah. That was a little sloppy. The best way to deal with the new Modern Dredge deck is hoping they draw poorly. The new Modern Dredge deck is one of the many decks like Infect and other things of that nature where when their deck is firing on all cylinders, they're just going to beat you no matter what. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with the blue cards. Well, our opponent getting very unlucky is one way to win this matchup. There's also the very strong argument that our opponent just like shouldn't have kept the hand that they kept, so I don't feel particularly bad for him. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So can't chord for Kiki, unfortunately. Next, you want Thomas? Here, Mom's gonna be home soon. Oh, you want to come sit with Dad? So what do we want to do here? I think we're just attacking, and then like next turn Emmer cooling him. Yeah, we win next turn. We win next turn a couple different ways. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. All right, so Unified Will in, Stony Silence in, Rex Stage in, Eidolon in, Fulminator in. Sometimes I bring in Helix if we have extra slots. Path is out. Lone Missionary is out. Scavenging Ooze is out. There's the notification to Lucian. That was super delayed. It didn't delayed coming through on Twitch too, though. So I already took the counter up. Thank you. Welcome back. I do appreciate it. One more cut here. Maybe just like trim a wall of omens. I don't hate that. I'm just gonna do that. Yeah. When they draw their entire deck, they're going to have infinite ways to take care of a lone Forge Tender sitting on the table. So you shouldn't board it in Forge Tender and things like that against our opponent's deck. The only reason we're leaving Spellskite in the deck is because Spellskite's able to protect Eidolon of Rhetoric once we get it out. Put a mulligan to 6. Opponent probably should have mulligan to 6 last game, so... Probably fetching Breeding Pool with this. Turn 2 Stone Rain. Oh, baby, baby. Yeah, I'm just going to get Breeding. It's possible I'm supposed to get a white source here. He likely can't kill the bird, so probably doesn't matter either way. Oh, he suspended Bloom. That's good to know. So, turn 2 Stone Rain, turn 3 Nahiri. Hopefully we don't die. Or if we hit a land, we can just turn 3 Resto, turn 4 combo. I'm playing 23 lands. If you go down on lands, you need to go up on, that was another excellent draw. Counters Lotus Bloom. Effectively counters Lotus Bloom. This hand panned out pretty well. Hopefully he plays Phyrexian on life this turn, then we get to play Nahiri and kill it. Laboratory Maniac, sure. I think I'm going to run the draw land, kill him with Kiki combo here, Gambit. And he might actually attack in with the Laboratory Maniac here, and then we get to eat it with Resto. If he gets cheeky, we get to punish him. Oh, yeah. Maximum cheeks. There's no reason to attack here. Block. Untapped land. Ding. Fries are done. Opponent's not just dead here. They could have Angel's Grace to buy themselves a turn, or Slaughter Pact, or Pact of Negation, but we're in a good spot. And like him making us click through this is not automatically BM. He could very likely have Angel's Grace in hand to buy a turn. All right. Thank you, opponent, for letting me know you have it. Now we're gonna attack him down to exactly, make enough to hit him down to exactly 1 here. If he has Grace plus Spoils, we're dead. That's not true. We have Stony Silence, Ian. He can't use Lotus Bloom. Lotus Bloom is currently OFF off. BM stands for bad manners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we can. Man, I even remembered to stop recording. I'm on fire. Should I start recording? All right. Oh, we got Ad Nauseam. That's sweet. Oh, okay, Ian. Yeah, probably. There's probably some small fraction of cards that punish us for attacking with the actual resto, but in reality, it probably doesn't matter. I mean, Ad Nauseam is a deck that like loses to itself a high volume of the time. It's just like not super consistent. Gosh, this hand's so good against something fair. Please have mana leaks and remands in your deck. Play a Steam Vents on 1. This hand's good against Jund too. God bless him. Please not. I guess Ad Nauseam doesn't usually play fetches. Guess there's a world where we get Blood Moon out of this game. It's definitely a world we could be living in. The difference of the play versus the draw. Like if he just like goes turn 1, suspend this, and we like play a Voice of Resurgence, like he just like dies. However, in a world where we shock in this Temple Garden, he untaps and Blood Moons us next turn, we're just gonna be in a world of pain. Duskwatch Recruiter can sometimes just be a watch wolf, like a 2 mana 3 cost guy. It also is technically acceleration, so. Okay, I don't think I'm supposed to play that out even in a world where he could have Blood Moon, because we just gotta like get it bolted and feel real bad about ourselves. Get Spell Snared on tap. Alright, well. Have a hard opponent. He didn't crack his fetch. Definitely getting Blood Moon. Ugh. Ugh. Or if we're not getting Blood Moon to this turn, there's a Blood Moon somewhere in the future. This is a friendly league. The modern friendly leagues have way more people in them than the competitive modern leagues, so the matches fire quicker. I just join whichever league has more people in it. Protomon with the 4-month sub. Thank you for the continued support, man. I do appreciate 131 out of 150. I'm going to look at the calendar and see when I can schedule the next long stream. Someone asked about, this is my favorite iteration of Chord. The only card I am unsure of currently is 3-color Blood Moon deck. That's bold. The only card I'm not sure of is the Duskwatch Recruiter. Everything else feels pretty reasonable. Snapcaster Vision, sure. So the second voice is probably going to be pretty good. I could also like play this Quasley Pride Mage and attack my voice in, but I really don't want to trade my voice for a Snapcaster Mage. I'm probably just going to take this opportunity to like resolve this second voice here, especially since it's looking more and more like he doesn't have Anger of the Gods in his deck. Staticaster's fine. It's not strictly worse than Pontiff. It's like it's different as a different type of effect. I mean, we can tutor for it. Like playing one Staticaster on our board is like playing 5 Staticasters for us, so it's a pretty big difference. He didn't pop to fetch because he's missing lands. That's fair. I'm going to wait on cracking this. It could still be a Blood Moon deck. I'm going to play Spellskite into Pride Mage here, I think. And then ship for 3. If we get Verdicted next turn, we feel bad about ourselves, but we get 2. Actually, if we get Verdicted, like, we get 2 giant guys left over, yeah, it's probably fine. Oh, I tapped my lands wrong. Whoops. I have to shock with this now. Did not want to shock with this. Wanted to get Basic Forest. Getting Sacred Foundry now, though. Or Temple Garden. Temple Garden. Yeah, we'll get Temple Garden since we have this to filter. Should have tapped this and this for the Spellskite. Oh, Temple Garden's in play. Yeah, we'll get Sacred Foundry for extra white. He might block here. That's a sure sign that we're getting Verdicted. It's not a sure sign. It means we're likely getting Verdicted. He's thinking about it. The fact that he's thought about this for so long means he probably doesn't have it in his hand, or he doesn't have the second white source, but he's drawing 4 cards next turn, so pretty likely to find it. That's why I talked about tapping my Landjong for the Spellskite, because this takes white mana. Which is unfortunate. Like, taking extra damage against a deck that's got Lightning Bolts and probably Helixes in it isn't stellar for us. I mean, like, having a second forest in play isn't really going to help us beat a Blood Moon, so... Hit for 10 next turn if he verdicts. Oh, that's true, because we've got the Raging Ravine. Yeah, I like vomiting these guys out. Yeah, definitely a small missequence on my part with the way I tap my lands for the Spellskite. So people often ask me what to get into and what I think about streaming Magic. Playing Magic while streaming is the most difficult thing you will do. On top of talking about what I'm doing and like explaining what I'm doing, in addition to doing the mechanics of playing on the computer, I'm also reading chat. I'm keeping up on Twitter and Facebook to make sure people aren't messaging me or asking me questions. Like I'm literally doing. I'm keeping an eye on the kids to make sure they're not killing each other till my wife gets home from work. So, this is I am far more focused when playing Magic in paper than when I am playing Magic while streaming. So a lot of these small mistakes you see make, and this goes for anyone streaming, a lot of the small mistakes you'll see people make just don't happen in paper because like all of your focus is on the game. Does that let us win? Definitely playing that. So 4... No, we're short, right? Yeah, definitely short. Am I just like firing up Raging Ravine and shipping? So if I fire up Raging Ravine and ship, I get in for... Say he blocks here, I get in for 6. He goes to 8. He casts Wrath. I have 2 elementals and a Raging Ravine and kill him. Yeah, the mom site's great. We're sending me a deck for Orlando this weekend. He might, let's say he trades with a Voice of Resurgence, and then he takes 8 and goes to 6, and then he Wraths, and then he's dead on board. So yeah, so I think we're just supposed to fire up the creature land here and ship with the squad. He can't Path Ravine. We have Spellskite. He's my boy. So I think all roads lead to victory here. He's blocking the Pride Mage. God, we're going to get Blood Mooned, aren't we? Oh, man, we're going to get Blood Mooned. I'm going to feel real dumb. I guess if he Blood Moons us, he's just, like, mostly dead to these voices, though. Usually you want 2 days. So like if I order Monday, it'll usually get here by Wednesday, but I 3 days, I guess. I order by Monday to get it for that weekend. Tuesday at the absolute latest. Yeah, I think so, Rapid Goat. I think between the Spellskite and yeah. I don't think Blood Moon's even that bad for us here. No, there's only one Pride Mage in the main deck. Only one Pride Mage. We could... Yeah, I don't think it really matters. I mean, we can still Chord because these make green mana for Chord, which is nice. This opponent's kind of up a creek here, I think. Lightning Bolt me. Resolves. It's like... Okay, concedes. Alrighty. Well then. He had 2 Ancestral Visions. That card's so good it had to be banned. I don't understand. Alrighty. Missionary out. Fulminator Mage out. Scavenging Ooze is fine. Eidolon of Rhetoric is fine. PN Nalar. I'm always on the fence about this card against Anger of the Gods decks. I don't think I want it. I wouldn't hate a Static Caster. I wouldn't hate Unified Will. I'm actually going to trim 2 Path to Exiles and bring in 2 Lightning Helixes. Oh, we should definitely bring in Forge Tender. Bonus definitely going to have Anger post-board. Maybe board out some of... I don't mind boarding out Accelerants against decks that are going to be sweeping us, most likely. Bring in 1 Unified Will, perhaps. I don't think I ever want to draw 2 of this card, but drawing 1's probably fine. I'm going to cut the Pride Mage and bring in Reclamation Sage in the event he brings in Blood Moon out of the board. This one's easier to cast. I don't think I want both Wills. They can get a little clunky. We're definitely the aggro deck in this matchup, and I think Will can clunk up in our hand sometimes. I don't know that it directly impacts at Larynx. I'm going to submit. Because this isn't the matchup Unified Wills in our sideboard for. Unified Wills in our sideboard for things like Tron and spell-based combo decks. Yeah, let's keep the politics and world events out of chat. It's all awful, but this is not the time or place for it. I appreciate people being civil. No one's being uncivil about it, but those conversations can get not great pretty quickly. So, a conversation that is great. There's over 600 people hanging out here this afternoon. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your Monday here with us while we play some Kiki Chord. Turn 1, Bird of Paradise off Basic Forest. Sign me up. Got a spell scooter. It's not bad. Turn 1, suspend Ancestral Visions. Opponent has his nut draw every time. How can we possibly win? Because I like playing Kiki Chord. It's a dynamic deck that has different choices in most of the games. It gives you a lot of play in most of your matchups. There are some times where you're just going to lose because that's Magic, but like a lot of the times with Kiki Chord, you have decisions that could have made matches come out differently had you taken different lines. I ended up what did I end up? I ended up 4-3. Went 4-0-0-3. How do I beat those unholy spiders? Being aggressive is good. I'm gonna go ahead and play Spellskite out here, I think. I really don't want to run this bird out into a Wrath. It's unfortunate that neither of these fetch Hallowed Fountain, because that's kind of the land I want to get. See if we can beat 2 Ancestral Visions on 1 and 2 games in a row. Let's crack this. Sacred Foundry, I think. Yeah, I get Breeding Pool with the next one. Razor Verge Thicket. Alrighty, let's play this out. Would not be surprised to see the piece of counter magic. Could take it or leave it either way. Sure. Standard's great if you enjoy casting Collected Company. That card's very good. It's possible I'm supposed to play this just because it has to come into play tap, but I kind of want to fetch out my Breeding Pool so I don't have to draw it. Little light on action so far. Thankfully, our opponent's playing a deck that generally doesn't have the ability to capitalize on punishing us for being light on action, but still like to hit a few more spells. We don't know that our opponent's playing a Blood Moon deck. I was just, the way he fetched his lands in the first game made me wary of the card, because you should always be conscious of that card in Modern. The easiest way to lose to Blood Moon is to just, like, pretend it doesn't exist. The good news is with all these lands is we'll be able to cast anything we draw, which is nice. Our opponent's only drawing 8 cards in the next 2 turns, so you know, we have a chance. Not playing the bird out, don't need the extra land, don't need the extra accelerant, don't want to run into a Verdict or Wrath of God. A lot of the matchups where you want Karanos have access to Nahiri now, so I could see it being okay against Jund, but I don't think I want an extra sideboard card for just Jund. I think I'd rather play like a Celestial Purge for that matchup instead of... We are way behind. No, we're not. Our opponent's not doing anything. We're not behind until our opponent does stuff. And until they do stuff, my Eternal Witness is just going to keep beating them down. I have a clock on the table. We're way ahead. Yep, drawing Deathwatch Recruiter at some point would be nice. Keep playing these land drops. I'm not going to play Nahiri into Cryptic Mana here, especially with my opponent drawing 4 cards next turn. I'd much rather wait until they have to discard something than give them an opportunity to play a counterspell this turn. So opponent's drawing up to 10 cards in hand this turn, which means even if they play a land, they have 9 cards left over, so they're going to have to play out 2 cards or discard something, so they get less value off this Ancestral Visions, basically. Yeah, I will be playing blue cards in Kiki Chord at my next event that I play Chord in. Yeah, I think Celestial Purge is a great card. That's what I'm saying. I don't think we need it. I don't think we really need a Celestial Purge, but in the event that I wanted to play something like a Karanos to hedge Jund, I'd much rather play Celestial Purge. The Jund matchup's pretty close with Kiki Chord. With 4 Nahiris, it's definitely a little bit better for us. And if he just, like, taps out here to spend mana, that means we get to, you know, more likely resolve Nahiri next turn, which is nice. And he angered away just our 2 dorks, which is wonderful. Like, he basically got a 1-for-1 there since the Eternal Witness drew a card. And now he has to cast another card or he's going to have to discard. So he's going to... He cast an Anger of the Gods for not great value, and he has to discard a card. So this is how we beat Ancestral Visions. Ooh, that's a good card. It's a shame we can't fetch up a second... So I can play this out, and that allows me to play Nahiri around Mana Leak, which is wonderful. I do side out birds in grindy matchups. In fact, we boarded out a bird and a Noble Hierarch in this matchup because of their access to Anger of the Gods. You've been this Wooded Foothills. Ooh. Sing a song. Sing out loud. Bum, 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 ba, da, da. I'm just going to play the bird here. I'm not going to go ahead and play the Voice of Resurgence out. I feel like we're at a point in the game where we can play around Mana Leak, so I'm not going to give him a chance to Mana Leak a Voice of Resurgence here. You have a click? Sure. So now we get to Helix this. I'm going to Helix this in response to the trigger because I don't want him to have the click to pressure our Nahiri. And Glenn and Voice are both good in this matchup, so... Am I going to be at all the Open? Most likely. I have plans to go to Orlando and Dallas, and assuming those Opens go well, and if I'm still in first on the Player of the Year leaderboard after Dallas, I will likely be finding plane tickets and making travel plans to all the rest of them. Took away my Glenalendra, sure. So he can Bolt or Helix plus Colonnade down the Nahiri, but we have Bird to block, so actually he can't kill the Nahiri this turn, which is nice. He could, like, Cryptic Bounce the Nahiri, because he did not have Cryptic up last turn when we cast her, but so he could have it in hand. I like boarding out Accelerants against Jund. I don't like boarding out Accelerants against Abzan. Abzan can't bolt the birds, and they don't have Anger of the Gods, so I don't mind leaving them in there. If he fires up Colonnade and attacks Nahiri, I'm okay with blocking. Okay, he's not going to give us that choice. Well, this is fine. This means we get to draw another card with Nahiri, and unless he has Spell Snare, our Voice of Resurgence is resolving. Wreck Stage looking embarrassing. Opponent pretty confident they don't have Blood Moon in their deck at this point. Double Voice is not bad. We're getting snared? We're not. Sweet. We could get Snap Angered. Definitely has Anger over here. Probably firing up this and shipping into Nahiri this turn. This has Anger in his hand. I mean, if he has Anger, he 2-for-1s us. Like, we're not winning this game by playing around a bunch of stuff. That's just not, it's just not realistic. Yeah, if he has Anger here, I think I would wait a turn and just take 4 and kill the Nahiri first. God, drawing Chord would be great, because then we could Chord for... what's it called? Forge Tender. This is probably coming out for game 2. Or game 3. If we get there. Maybe we can just win this one. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So we're just going to go ahead. think we're going to chord for Glenelendra here. Seems reasonable, right? Yeah, I'm going to chord for Glenelendra. And if he has Dispel here, he can Dispel this and then Anger and still clear the board, but I think this is fine. Ooh. Huh. Huh. Do I get Glen or do I get Eidolon? If I get Eidolon, I've missed 2 points of damage, which kind of sucks, but Eidolon almost sounds better, right? Then he can't Snap Anger us, but I feel like the way he tapped his lands and then untapped, he just has a second Anger in his hand. Yeah, I'm going to get Glen. It's also possible I'm just supposed to, like, chord for Witness there and Witness back Nahiri, but I guess Nahiri's kind of exposed to the Celestial Colonnade. I think post-board, now that we know our opponent's a Celestial Colonnade deck and not a Blood Moon deck, we're going to have this be Fulminator Mage. If this was Fulminator Mage, we'd have been in an amazing spot this game. We'd still have a Nahiri on the board if we'd have been able to kill the Celestial Colonnade. So if he has Path plus Anger here, he can beat the Glenelendra. But if he doesn't have both of those, we're in a great spot again. Unfortunate that we don't have double blue. If we had double blue, we'd be in an amazing spot. Up to over 700 people hanging out here this afternoon. Welcome to everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I will be writing an updated article about Kiki Chord this week on mtgcardmarket.com. Has Snapcaster. Okay. So it's just like Snap Anger into the Glenelendra? Path to Exile, sure. Oh, Snap Path and then Anger, sure. Man, I almost want to let this resolve just so I can get the land, because like he's going to Anger either way. Yeah, I'm just going to let this resolve. Get the basic mountain out of our deck. Because like Anger is going to clear it anyways. Same result, only we just have an extra land now. Into Timely Reinforcement. Well, if he doesn't Anger, I feel bad about that decision that I just made. Huh. I think I'm just passing the turn for now. I think we're just like in a holding pattern for now. We just want to like run off some more gas here, like another Nahiri or something perhaps. Although I guess this Ancestral Visions is kind of forcing us to act, but we really don't have the cards to act, so... Jacob Jeffrey, are you hungry? Jacob Jeffrey. Jake. I know you're hungry, D. You just eat everything all the time. People that ask me to compare whether or not decks are strictly better or strictly worse than something else in Modern really don't understand like how Modern works as a format. Like Modern and Legacy are formats full of decks where like the best deck isn't that much better than the second best deck. So you know, they're different. They have the Nahiri deck you're asking about just has different matchups than this deck. To loot away this stupid Reclamation Sage. Try another Nahiri, sure. I'm going to ship with this voice. I think if he kills it, I have a bigger token to start beating down with, so... The thing might just be unblockable at this point, or he might just, like, chump it for a few turns. Yeah, just, like, get these soldiers off the board. The problem with playing Displacer in this deck is you have to mess up the mana to do it, and I don't think the upside Displacer offers is worth the messing up the mana that you'll have to do to make it possible. How's Duskwatch Recruiter been? Well, I hope we draw Duskwatch Recruiter in this game, so we can just, like, draw 2 cards with it right away. No, that's a lot of work, JV. So I'm assuming this is Celestial Colonnade crashing into my Nahiri. God, how sick would it be if we beat triple Ancestral Visions this game? Just, like, nice broken card. That'd be pretty awesome. I guess I should technically leave that up because it's better than Basic Force. Better. Ooh, Resto is besto. You want something to eat? You want your tablet? So we could jam. I'm going to start by attacking with Voice here. I think I'm going to draw with Resto before I make a decision with Nahiri. I might just like plus and not discard anything here in all honesty. We could be playing into a Wrath slightly here, but the thing to remember is if we get Wrath, the Voices make tokens, and all 3 of these cards drew cards, so like getting Wrath isn't the biggest deal. Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm just going to plus and not discard anything. New phone's great. And I got the 2-year accidental damage replacement warranty, so seemed like a good idea considering how the old phone went. Yeah, man. You got Ancestral Visions. An iPhone guy? You don't know anything about my background if you think I'm an iPhone guy. So, fun story, Matt. This is the OnePlus X. They had the wrong tracking information apparently. The mom, I don't know. Go ask Mrs. Mulligan, someone who plays Merfolk. I have no idea. Like, I'd assume the blue-based control decks, like something like our opponent's playing, is good. It's good for Merfolk, but I don't know. I haven't spent time playing and testing Merfolk. Yep, you have Celestial Colonnade. So now, do I want to trade Restoration Angel to save this Nahiri? I think I do, because, like, that gives me 2 more draws with it. I mean, Tron is always... Oh, you want your train? Is that what you're upset? You want this train too? We were upset we couldn't reach the train. We figured out the toddler's issues. I think all of the Leon and Arbiter decks in Modern are very close to unplayable. The only reason they see the results they do is because lots of people play them on Magic Online. Opponent's not getting shafted on time. Opponent is shafting themselves on time. Like, we're up 10 minutes, and I'm, like, answering questions in chat and fielding a toddler. The problem with the 1+1 is that, the 1+1, the LTE radio in it is super weak, even compared to, like, my Nexus 5. That's interesting. Okay. So he is playing Jeskai Nahiri. I'm going to ship both my guys at his Nahiri. So I think I'm going to go Forge Tender second voice here, possibly. And again, don't really want to discard any cards from my hand, so I'm just going to plus this. I think maybe I'll just play Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, playing Scavenging Ooze seems fine. Survives Anger of the Gods. Because, like, he could path this plus anger me still. This turns off potential Snapcaster Mages, which he likely has more of. The hard matchups for Kiki Chord are spell-based combo decks. Ad Nauseam, Scape Shift. Scape Shift is miserable. Like, Green-Red Breach Titan, that matchup's almost impossible. We've got 1, 2, 3 troops in our graveyard, and he's got 1 troop in his. We're also up a game here, and opponent's under 5 minutes on their clock, so... Yeah, I think we're winning this game just, like, based on the fact that we're going to clock our opponent. Oh, we're upset that we missed our nap today, huh? That's what happens when toddlers refuse to nap. I mean, I used a 1+1 for a year and a half and ended up selling it afterwards. You can't make the Scape Shift matchup better. Scape Shift preys on decks like Kiki Chord. The reason why Scape Shift is anywhere close to playable is because it's good against decks like Kiki Chord. You can't. There isn't a one card fix it. The blue makes it mildly better, but it still doesn't put it into this is good matchup range. God, just like all the timely reinforcements. Okay. I guess if you're stalling towards the Nahiri, it seems okay. Eat this click. Eat my bird. Eat your anger of the gods. Eat a lightning bolt. Eternal Witness. This just combo kills him, right? So we get... Yeah, this should combo kill him. We get Eternal Witness. We get Restoration Angel. We Restoration Angel, the Eternal Witness, and then we get back Chord, and we Chord for Kiki. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could have a path here, I suppose. Seems to be F6, though. My opponent said GG's in chat, so we got him. We did it, fam. We beat the triple Ancestral Visions. We beat Suspend Visions on 1, Suspend Visions on 2. Alright, toddler, we're going to take a short break. Pretty tight game. All of these cards attack him. Alright, sweet. Alright, I'll be right back. We're going to take a brief commercial, and then I'll be back with some more matches of Modern once the toddler has been appeased. Thanks for hanging out, folks. have made a solemn offering to appease the toddlers. I said show me 3 times and I'll scoop. Yep. I have demonstrated a loop. Hope everyone's doing all right today. Thank you everyone for joining me here this afternoon, all of us. Thank you to everyone that stuck around. Looks like we dropped 100 people during my brief run to take care of the chillins. I appreciate everyone sticking through the short break. I love streaming Magic, but I'm a father first. I have two small children, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. My wife isn't quite home from work yet, and they're up from their naps. So, if you're first time by the stream, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a professional Magic the Gathering player who plays Magic primarily on the SCG Tour. I'm currently ranked first on their circuit. Here on this channel, you'll find us streaming Constructed Magic and Constructed Hex. For Magic, we stream Standard, Modern, Legacy, and Pauper. And Hex, there's only one constructed format, so that's what we play there. If you missed any of today's stream or any of my other streams, there's a link to my YouTube channel below, and I export all of my stream archives there, so feel free to give that a follow as well. I break up my archives by deck and by format and by game, so if you only care about Hex or only care about Magic or particular decks in Magic, you can find all of that on my YouTube channel. If you're enjoying the content, I'd encourage you to use the follow or sub buttons below the stream. I do appreciate both of those. Welcome to all of our new followers from today. I would like to play first after winning my die roll. I would like to mulligan my 1-lander. I would like to keep this fairly unimpressive 6. Hopefully we find a 1 or a 2 drop on top of our deck. You'd be surprised, Dead President. We were at almost 800 when I ran the commercial and headed upstairs, and then we're at 630 when I came back down here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Path. The decks in Modern that punish us for having a slow start like this usually get interacted with via Path to Exile. I'm gonna go ahead and play Temple Garden here. Actually, you know what? There's merit to playing the Windswept Heath on one, because in the event our opponent's start tells us that they're playing a deck that's not. Okay, Path is good against Mistress Bauble. This is likely Death Shadow aggro. Okay, well, he targeted himself with Mistress Bubble for some reason. Probably to find out if he wanted to do that before fetching. Draw his card before fetching. So he was not going to know the Path to Exiles on top of our deck, which is great. No, I don't really play in Grand Prix. Grand Prix are pretty bad EV compared to Opens, so I generally play in those. He's going to get to look at the top card of our deck. Yeah. I play Thoughtseize, sure. So you're taking my Eternal Witness away, I assume? Yeah. I play generally all in red in Legacy as my deck of choice. So opponent's going to get to draw 2 extra cards here. They played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cantrips on the first turn of the game. 5 cantrips. The sideboard EEs are very good. You are not wrong. We got 2 of them, right? Yeah. If he has double Death Shadow, we're in trouble. Big Red is great. It's not Prison Red, it's a mono red sneak attack deck. It has Blood Moon and Chalice in it, but it also has like Gristlebrand, Emrakul, World Spine kills. If you click on my YouTube channel below the stream, or actually, if you click on my deck list, you can find a link to them there. But you can also You can also find a link on my YouTube channel to some archives, a bunch of archives of me playing the deck. So opponent probably only has one threat in hand here and is debating playing into the Path to Exile. Either that or they had their doorbell ring or they're in the bathroom or something. Chuck. You have the wildest of cats opponent. Not pathing that. Would much rather save this for a scary Death Shadow. This is probably getting Hallowed Fountain? Yeah, Hallowed Fountain. Burn does generally just auto-win against the opponent's deck. That is correct. Swift Spear, sure. So I'm going to go ahead and take this hit here. And then during his end step, I'm going to Path to Exile this one. This way, if he has a Death Shadow in his hand, he doesn't get a chance to play it during his second main phase. I would save myself 3 points of life by pathing sooner, but I'd much rather gain a turn on him being able to play a Death Shadow. I'm going to go ahead and grab Hallowed Fountain here, I think. Now I need triple... I think I want double white more than triple green. We can get triple green with this easier than we can get double white. Let's play this. We'll exile his Swift Spear, and then hopefully we will start drawing some gas. We get 2 draws next turn. And if he doesn't have any more threats here, it's great for us. Well, as I said, that's great for us. Oh, that's... Alright, let's start by looting, I guess. Or rummaging, technically. I'm going to Stone Rain his Black Source. Maybe I'm supposed to... Okay. Okay, fam. What do we Stone Rain here? Do we Stone Rain the Stomping Ground or the Godless Shrine? What do we like? There's definitely merits to both. I think it's supposed to be the Godless Shrine. I think it's supposed to be the Godless Shrine. Just like Death Shadow's really scary. And like we've already killed a red and a green threat. I really like taking the Black Source out too. Let's just do that. I think if we hadn't already dealt with a red and a green threat, it would be different. But the fact that we have, I think, makes that one pretty much just the right decision. Let's go ahead and get a second Stomping Ground here. Bin this basic Plains, draw again. Play Eternal Witness. Oh man, we're going to Eternal Witness the Fulminator Mage, I think. Yeah, definitely. There might be merit to getting the Path to Exile back here, but I like Stone Raining people. Should straw pull that one. Rats, he found another land. We're so unlucky. Ban Nahiri. Hashtag ban Nahiri. These are all cards I would consider in this matchup. What cards do I not want to consider? I don't want Duskwatch Recruiter and Scavenging Ooze. As good as Fulminator Mage was there, I don't think we want that. Quasley Pride Mage isn't great. Voice is medium. It blocks twice is its upside. I think Deceiver Exarch's probably not worth it. Glenn might be too slow. Unified Will might also be too clunky. Like, we're just, like, tapping out in the early to deal with a lot of his stuff. Yeah, I think we're just supposed to do that. PNK is too slow. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe do this. I think I'm happy with this 61. Exarch seems great. Exarch's medium. I think I'd rather have Idle on than Exarch. No, we're at 61. 61 so many cards we're playing. I'm just tanking on whether or not we want any of these other cards out of the board. There's definitely merit to any of these blue cards I could see. I could see an argument for these being good. We're playing 61 in the main right now. Because I'm a heathen. I wouldn't mind shaving a chord. Maybe bring in a Unified Will or an Exarch. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, I like that. Easy mulligan. Close keep. I'm gonna keep this on the draw. Bottom non-land. You cannot have more than 15 cards in your sideboard when you hit submit. I am playing 61 cards in the standard deck. I am what you could call mouth-breathing scum. I'm going to get Sacred Foundry here. Put this out on 1. I think this hand's very good. This hand's great with a second land. Like, walls are reasonable in this matchup. Helix is good. Engineered Explosives is an ace. Like, I think our chance of drawing a land in 3 looks is better than our chance of having a great 5. Does he not have a second land? Alright, one of those, sure. The old second 1/1, yep. Terrifying. Second Helix, wonderful. Are our trains upsetting? Always had it. Yep. He knows we didn't always have it. Alright, well, now that we drew the bird, I think we're going to... Actually, that's tough. I might just Helix one of these, actually. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try and Helix these down. I'm Helixing it now because I definitely play Mutagenic Growth and Become Immense. His trains weren't driving on the track how he wanted them to drive, so he was a little upset. I hate when my trains don't listen to me. Alright, yep. I think we're just... I'm just going to continue mowing down his guys. Ideally, we want to save this engineered explosives to kill Death Shadow, because it's going to be bigger than a lot of our stuff. Because I drew the path, maybe there's merit to just pulling the trigger on this, but I kind of like getting value on the Helix. It is a little awkward that as long as this is in play, we really don't want to play out our Bird of Paradise. We could also just get, like, combo killed here, right? If he needs to land to combo us. Yeah, if he hits a land, he can... That's really good. He needs to take our path now. We're going to 9. We go to 8 to crack this. Yep, it's a long path. We're going to crack this now since we drew this. Shock this in, play the bird. Probably going to see a Death Shadow next turn. Maybe there's a world where he just doesn't have a 5th threat, but probably has Death Shadow. Engineered explosives that kept his guys at bay for a little while here. Yeah. Voice. Yeah, that's fine. If he doesn't have Teamer Battle Rage, we have a chance. Probably a Teamer Battle Rage, though. There are 18 cards, so we would be kind of surprised if he doesn't have Teamer Battle Rage. We go to 1 on this attack if he has Battle Rage. Sweet, no Battle Rage. So we just get to... Could have second Death Shadow, I suppose? Yeah, second Shadow. Inquisition, sure. You get my Chord of Calling. Actually, in an okay spot again. Okay. We could get double bolted, but I think that would have happened already. Exile that. I'm gonna leave the elemental back in case he draws another Swift Spear here. We are not playing Dryad Arbor. I'm gonna take these train tracks away from you since they're upsetting you so much. He's also used 1 bolt, sure. It's nice that we have this Emrakul in our hand, because that's a free discard for Nahiri next turn. We have this path to play out. When is my wife going to be home? Exarch's not bad. I drew a Chord, sure. Gonna go ahead and untap my elemental here. Deck only plays 2 bolts. That's interesting. I mean, like, you can't just, like, take for granted that, like, someone's playing a specific deck list. Like... There's lots of different variations people could be playing. See? See? Only plays 2. Yep. I actually like that he's killing that there. That's great for us. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a step links here. Like, there's no guarantee he's playing a specific deck list. Goes to 3. That's bold. Especially after he's seen Lightning Helix out of our deck. I guess he's not winning by not drawing cards. We have Path to Exile the not die to Battle Rage. Like, Path to Exile is pretty good insurance about dying to Battle Rage. There, he's so much happier. He knows I have Path. He has one card in hand. How wrong could this go? No, they don't usually play Boros Charm. Look at that. Card that kills him next turn. Exile this. He become immencing my thing. Nah, I don't think so. Maybe because it attacks. Yeah, he's at 2. Yeah, probably. Probably. All right, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll be back with some more matches of Chord. Thanks for hanging out this afternoon, everyone.
Oh, hi there, folks. It's Television's Ruben Bressler here from Tales of Adventure to talk about Eternal Extravaganza, which is one of the highlights of the Magic calendar in 2016. This fourth installment of EE will be taking place June 18th and 19th at the Merchant Square Mall in historic Allentown, Pennsylvania. There's a 15K Legacy main event on Saturday, and both Modern and Vintage 10Ks on Sunday. Every player that registers for any of the 3 main events will receive an awesome exclusive EE4 playmat. Prizes will be paid down all the way to X and 3 in Legacy and X and 2 in both Vintage and Modern, and all 3 event champions will receive not only top prizes, but also some really sweet looking trophies. For those that can't make it, I'm sorry, but we will be broadcasting EE4 live on twitch.tv/Tales of Adventure throughout the weekend. So visit eemagic.com or check out the hashtag EE4MTG to learn how you can become an Eternal Master this June 18th and 19th at Eternal Extravaganza.
All right, waiting for our last match for this league to queue. We're currently 3-1, so playing for the coveted 4-1 position. Makes not just our fun bucks back, but a little bit of profits. We've been paired. Let's get him. We actually haven't lost a game today, have we? Just 6-0 with the deck. Finally want a die roll. I think we're supposed to mulligan this. Against an unknown opponent. I'm going to mulligan this. I think it's a little bit too slow. Yeah, this hand's reasonable. Does stuff. Keep it Razor Verge thick. It awkwardly doesn't cast the Fulminator Mage, but it makes the rest of our hand less painful. The old GP Charlotte pairings 3-0. Suspend Ancestral Visions. Aether Vial. That seems medium against fish. First hand was also not great against fish, though, so, you know. I'm going to cast out the Voices first because they're harder to cast when we get Spreading Seas. Living End and Eldrazi and Tax. I think Living End is a much better deck than Eldrazi and Taxes. I don't think the Taxes decks are very good in Modern. Whereas I think Living End is one of the more powerful linear decks that you could be playing. Play nice with your brother. The Fish matchup is close, with them probably being slightly ahead. Having access to 2 copies of Engineered Explosives in our sideboard is definitely helpful. The reason why the Fish matchup is a little bit bad for us at times is because you'll often have games like this one we're playing right now, where we just have to keep a hand that's like good, reasonable against an opponent, but like not particularly great against an aggressive deck. We did thankfully draw Quadsley Pride Mage, though, so we can keep our land from being an island, which is great, which means we can block. Blocking is one of the most important things in this matchup. It's funny how many people don't realize Wall of Blossoms is a modern legal. Should we kill Vial before it ticks to 2? No, I would much rather kill the Spreading Seas than kill the Aether Vial. I would much rather kill the Spreading Seas than kill the Aether Vial. We don't win this matchup by racing them. They're going to get to play out all of their cards. We win this matchup by being able to block their threats. This is a matchup that the blue splash probably really hurts this matchup. In fact, I might... You're not going into play. No, you are not. In fact, we might board the islands out. I don't think that's completely unreasonable. It's possible I'm supposed to play the voice out there first, but like if we draw a land that's untapped, we could possibly cast both of them this turn. Yeah, like if this was an overgrown tomb, we'd obviously be much better off. Not only does it get us closer to casting Fulminator Mage than this would, but like we would have been able to just like play out both of these. It's probably another Lord, I assume. Yep. Regery, he just like gets to go ham here. It probably just doesn't matter. It looks like opponent's draw is pretty aggressive. Yeah. I'm just not coming back from this game. I need to play some post-board games here where we get to have more interaction with our opponent. Opponent's deck is definitely the better Goldfish deck than ours for so many reasons. I'm going to cut the Breeding Pool in the Hallowed Fountain and cut the blue cards. Do I want the Staticaster? I might not want the Staticaster. You think Nahiri and Emrakul and Living Hand should be competitive? No idea. I've not tested the deck much. I just know that it's a powerful choice in Modern. You need to actually talk to someone who spent time testing that deck. I will be writing an article for MTG Card Market this week talking about the advantages of the Blue Splash and why I think they're worthwhile. So mtgcardmarket.com, article should go up Friday morning. Watch out for Kira. Sure. Like, I'm aware that Kira is a card that they play. You can't board in a way that makes their Kira less good. Staticaster has proved. So Staticaster kills Master of Waves tokens, Curse Catcher, Silvergill Adept. Seems really narrow. Seems real narrow. I don't think Staticaster is better than any of these cards I'm playing right now. I don't think I like this card. Seems kind of clunky. And like the matchups where it's good in, we're already kind of favored. Is Kira still broken on Magic Online? I mean, Scavenging Ooze is really good at helping stabilize the board after we kill their stuff. I definitely prefer Scavenging Ooze to Static Esther. No, Nahiri is great. We're going to go ahead and submit. We're playing 61 cards. In fact, I think after this league, we're probably just going to cut the Duskwatch Recruiter and play 60. I think that's what I'd probably do moving forward. I see it's so good with a white source. Oh, it's so good with the white source. Just get to go wall, Nahiri. Sand's great. Has sideboard cards in it. Sideboard cards are great. Opponent mulligan to 5. Yep, it's up. This Watch Recruiter has been mediocre. Now, because we have EE, I'm probably going to Rex Sage his Vial. Now the question is, do I just play out this EE preemptively on 2? I kind of like doing that. Then we don't risk running it into a Spell Pierce. It also causes him to have to, like, pace out his threats more slowly. I think I'm just going to do that. That way we don't, like, blow up our voice when we blow up the EE. I answered you, News. I said, I have no idea, and you should test it yourself. I have not played Living End ever in a match of Sanctioned Magic. I played it in Gauntlet matches a few times, but that's very different. Probably get another Stomping Ground here. It's possible I'm supposed to get second whites. Yeah, I probably should have gotten Temple Garden there, because I have three. Yeah, I definitely should have gotten Temple Garden there. Definitely should have gotten Temple Garden there. That was the incorrect fetch land. Emrakul's trigger on the stack cast file. Okay, that's kind of hot. The Emrakul them. Yeah, the Emrakul them via Living End is kind of hot. I'm going to ship with this, and if he fires up the Mutavault, I think I will just path his Lord of Atlantis. Just no blocks, sure. I like to hold off on blowing these Engineered Explosives as long as possible, because basically as long as this Engineered Explosives is on the table, our opponent doesn't like to commit more than 1 to 2 things, which means they can't generally mount enough pressure to actually beat our combo draws. So playing the E out preemptively kind of makes our opponent play their pacing in a method that is profitable to us. So this one's going to get Sacred Foundry. Jeth Holomule. Yeah, my full legal name is Jeffrey, for whoever asked. So I'm going to block here, and then fetch shock path his other lord. Modern Bant Eldrazi. It's fine. It's one of the another pretty good aggressive deck. It has access to some of the best sideboard cards in the format as well as counter magic, so it's probably pretty reasonable. And like even if he, I guess I should have pathed before blocks because now I'm taking 1 extra point of damage if he has a spell pierce here. We can't use EE. We only have 1 mana up here. I just don't want to take this big hit of damage. So I'm going to path here, block here, and he's just left with the Mutavault. The EE costs 2 to activate. Otherwise, I would definitely use the EE. You are correct. He only has 1 card in hand. If we could activate Engineered Explosives, we would definitely activate in this position. Opponent concedes, begin sideboarding. Yep, I think I like our plan. Casual Jerry Thompson Mox account at 3-0. Oliver 2 Mox account. Why are these things able to play in events and take prizes away from people? Watsy account at 4-0. That irks me. This hand really doesn't do anything, so we're going to mulligan. This hand's not stellar, but it's definitely a keep. Turn 3 Nahiri, turn 2 Helix. Sounds great. No turn 1 play. Excellent. Shock. Bird. Next turn, fetch Shockland tapped, cast Lightning Helix. If he has Spreading Seas here, that's great for us. That's excellent. So I'm probably just going to play out... Oh, now we're just going to play out the... This is actually an interesting call. Like, I kind of want to just play out the mountain. Yeah, I'm just going to play out the mountain pass. Because he's very likely going to play a threat next turn. And unless that threat is exactly Kira, we can just Lightning Helix it and then untap and play Nahiri on an essentially empty board. And playing Nahiri on an empty board seems very good for us. Oh. If he just has another Spreading Seas here, that's kind of annoying. Hopefully he makes a play that gives us access to Lightning Helix. Vapor, snag, my bird. Sure. Opponent kept 7 this game, too. That's interesting. Now I've gotten max punished for the line that I took. You casting other Spreading Seas? Silvergill Adept? Sure. He didn't change to a second main phase, so we do get to Lightning Helix this since we floated white. So opponent made a little bit of a slop here. Revealed Lord of Atlantis, sure. Perfect, Emrakul. Perfect. Yeah, so we just got super punished. I mean, could be a ghost in the castle. You're not wrong. Could very well just be a ghost in the castle. Yay, boys. I said why I didn't want to play the Lone Missionary. I didn't want to play the Lone Missionary because he likely plays 1 threat, we Lightning Helix it, and then we untap and Nahiri onto an empty board, and we'd be in a very good position if we were in that spot. Rejury, sure. You have Vapor Snag my bird again? No. Okay. feels bad. Yeah, I definitely feel like we're getting sniped right now. We could just, his things could just be lining up well against us, but it definitely feels like he's playing like he knows what we're doing. And now the Emrakul feels extra bad in hand. Probably never playing that games. Like, I don't, at least not anytime in the near future. My for fun time is more spent playing Hex than Magic these days, because Magic's just kind of I've been liking Hex as a game more than Magic lately. So, most of my Magic time is, like, just spent playing, just spent focusing on testing for tournaments. Yeah, Hex is a great game. In addition to the client, like, making Magic Online look like poop, the game itself is much better. Hold on, my youngest has his lawnmower stuck under his chair.
Is your lawnmower stuck, D-Money? Say help, please. Help, please, Jan. Oh, careful. There you go.
I hate when my bubble lawnmower gets stuck, don't you? How much is a tier 1 control deck in Hex? The Winter Moon control deck's about $100. Second Spreading Seas, sure. Okay. Definitely had worse draws than that, I suppose. This Emrakul was a card that did something, we'd be in an okay spot, I think. But the fact that it is not is kind of rough. The Steel Series VH2. I actually have no idea what kind of headset this is. It says Steel Sound 3H. This headset is like 15 years old, but it still sounds reasonable. And it's been dropped and thrown and kicked and moved 4 or 5 different times and packed in boxes, and it still works. So I should probably find another one of them. Not that I can assume they still make this. The details of the Hex WotC settlement are not public. So, scale of 1 to dead, looking pretty dead here. Need to hit an engineered explosive at some point. Even that's probably not going to be good enough. Running the Nahiri into the Spell Pierce was pretty unfortunate. His turn where he Vapor Snagged the bird was just like the tempo that he needed, I think. Awesome, Logan. Yeah, all 3 of the decks in there are pretty reasonable. And the fact that Hex has, like, free weekly tournaments every weekend where you can, like, win 100 or 10,000 platinum, which is, like, $100, like, that's nuts. Like, free to enter things where you can just, like, make super value. Just gonna crack for 9 here. Sounds bleh. Can't block. We have islands. Alright, GG's opponent. We got all 80 of our fun bucks back. Such value. Much wow.